What's up, everybody, and welcome to Driving the Line, your number one sports betting show, and it's not even close. Yes, it's me. It's your boy DG. I'm hosting in for Coach today. He's having a little bit of a technical difficulties, but we're going to get through it. It's nothing like yesterday, so thank you all for hanging out with us. It was a crazy day yesterday. I know behind the scenes with producer man and AB, it was nuts. That's not a day that any of us want again. So we're looking to hopefully set ourselves up for the future so we don't have those issues again. But before we look to the future and get into today's show, let's take a look back at how yesterday went. And Charles, this dude is a sweeping machine. I'm glad he's part of the crew, and thank you all for being a part of the crew. But just a kind of an iffy day right there. But Charles kind of kept keeping us out. Everybody plays Charles's pick, so I know you're feeling good. But we have a full schedule this week, so make sure you're tuning in throughout the week, and make sure you don't miss that weekend wager show on Friday. It's always the best of the best. It's hosted by me, so how could it not be good? But we have a lot that we're going to get into today, and make sure you also check out the podcast that comes out this afternoon. It's going to be with me and Seabass, so it's always going to be good. So let's see, and a little good morning. What's up, AB?
DG, what's up, bro? Hey, nice job stepping in. Not much notice there, dude. Again, yeah. First off, Chuck, man, this dude is just crushing it. And I loved yesterday with your 3 diamonds now. I love you pushing the pace, man. Every time that somebody catches up, we got to keep going. So good job.
Yep. Man. And shout out to you. Nobody probably knows, helping me out with a little bit of graphic issues. I tried to put what I could together, and then you actually made it look good. Mine was horrible, but you helped me out. So I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. Hey, you started it all, man. I just picked up where you left off.
All right, well, let's keep this thing going just like Howie would like us to keep it going. So what's our place today?
Yeah, so all right, we have a really small slate of sports today, right? So we're gonna go to the NBA here. 2 games, 4 options. You're gonna take the Hawks plus 7.5, or the Knicks minus 7.5. You're gonna take the Warriors plus 2, or the Rockets minus 2. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show. And all right, so DG, all right. Joel in the chat brings up a good question right here. Put the prize pick results on the recap. All right, we can do that. No problem. I like that. That's a good idea.
Because, yeah, we want to know if there's going to be a rivalry going on. If we're going head-to-head with soup or salad, then we have to have the recap on there. So that's a good look. Yesterday, it was not your boy Soupy. It was Little Lettuce that pulled it out this week. So shout out to old King Lettuce coming through. But AB, that's a good idea. All right, so that's all we really have so far on that part. But as you all know, it's Rant Wednesday. We have a crazy good show today here on Stadium, so make sure you're tuning in for the entire show. But that's it. Let's get to the picks. Oh, look who we have here. I have to go with a guy who hasn't been on the show just yet since he got that gem. Tommy Carlucci. What's up, man? Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. Yes, I got a gem, and Coach doesn't have one. I was going to really give it to him today. So I'm sure when he sees this later on, he's going to see that I have a gem, Coach, and you don't.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be absolutely pissed because he even said that he felt bad more that you got into the club before I got in the third time. So he is absolutely just kind of against it. So shout out to you, Tommy. And listen, there's so much happening there in New York. So we'll get into that a little bit later on with losing Soto. We obviously have talked about that, but then you have a new pitcher in Max Free. But before we get there, let's move it on. We'll go down to the bottom left here. And we got our guy, Vince Russo. Good morning.
DG, what's this diamond stuff you guys are talking about? Because I was on a 4-0 run last week. I nobody gave me diamonds. Nobody gave me gems. What are we talking about? How do I get in this diamond club, DG? What do I got to do? I got to give my firstborn. What do I got to do?
Yeah, so you have to. It's your right leg, and I think it's your left pinky toe. I'm not sure. It's one of those two. It might be both. But we're gonna have to get you on a DTL prime time live.
Okay, show. You got to be on a specific show to get. Okay, I got it now. I understand.
Can I jump in real quick? All right, Vince. I saw a video randomly on YouTube last night. It was you and Jim Ross hosting a live wire show
Yes.
way back in the day.
Good old
And
days.
it's hilarious. These idiot callers are calling in. And Vince, you actually had true patience there for a minute. You're like, all right, I'm going to let it do it. And then you're like, okay, people, we've got to figure this out. It was one of the funniest things I've ever
And that
seen.
was all, I mean, that was 100% AB. That was all ad lib. None of that was planned. We didn't know the callers. I mean, 1000% off the cuff.
I worked that
hilarious.
show. I worked the show, AB. I was the phone guy.
Were you really?
Oh
my
I was
God.
taking the phone calls. Yep.
Yeah, dude, it was hilarious, man. I'm telling you, I was crying, laughing, watching it. I watched it like 3 or 4 times. It was really funny.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
The wrestling back in the day, everything that went on it's so 90s, but it so would not happen now. But it's honestly, that was a gem in itself, wrestling back in the day. But we have a guy who is a gem to us, and he is Seabass. Good morning.
Morning, DG. Morning, crew. Yeah, I'm just holding tight with my one gem. Once you're in, doesn't matter. You're in. Three sounds really nice, and 2, but whatever. I've got 1. That's all that matters. So.
All right. So I know you love this, and we're going to get into it before we get into our actual picks today. Because Seabass, I'm going to come back to you. I know how much you love the NBA Cup. Last night we had some good games. Let's get into the first game that was. We saw the Magic go down 109 to the Bucks at 114. Giannis did not kind of pull through for us, but he did go for 37-7. Jalen Suggs 32-9. Your thoughts on last night, just on that game in particular, or the NBA Cup as a whole?
Well, the NBA Cup as a whole, I'm glad that we're almost through with it. We can actually get back to basketball that matters. But no, that first game was good. I was sweating it out. I had Milwaukee minus the 4.5 last night, and it looked really good, and then it looked really bad, and then it looked really good again. Dame Lillard, and then it came down to Giannis at the free throw line. I was sweating, but he actually made 2 in a row there to give me that 5-point win. So I was happy.
Yeah, I like it. Well, Russo, are you keeping up with the NBA Cup at all?
I am not. Everybody knows I'm a baseball guy, DG. My head is in winter meetings right now. A lot going on. They end tomorrow. So that's kind of where my head's at right now.
Yeah, not everybody's about the NBA, and that's okay. Like, I want people to understand, being a sports fan, you're being a sports fan. It doesn't mean you have to like everything about every sport. But I do enjoy the NBA Cup. And Tommy, I know we were talking about before the show got on. Last night we had the Mavs go into Oklahoma City, and the Mavs go down 104 to the Thunder 118. Luka, kind of an iffy night. He did not play well at all. He was very frustrated. He ended up with a 16, 11, and 5 stat line. But SGA, I know you've liked him. He's played very well. 39 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Your thoughts on the Thunder or SGA as a whole?
Boy, he's some kind of player. He's the next big star coming out of the NBA. And yes, again, Irving didn't play that well either, I don't think, last night. So SGA, they're gonna be good at the end, and they're gonna be some stiff competition for my world champion Celtics here. But SGA, man, he's the next big superstar coming up in the NBA.
Yeah, SGA has been very good. And I'm excited to kind of watch how it all plays out. We have some good games tonight. We have the Hawks going into New York. New York's favored by 7.5. And then the Warriors go into Houston and take on the Rockets. The Rockets are actually favored by a 1.5. So another good, I guess, the NBA Cup games have been good so far, but we've only had 2. So tonight should be another good 2. But AB, we're going to go ahead and get into the picks here. This is what everybody's here for anyway. They don't love talking about the NBA Cup as much as I do. But, AB, you have one pick tonight. What you got?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man. You got to find a way to fill time somehow. There's not a lot of sports going on today, but we do have some college basketball games. And I like Louisville here, minus 15. Yes, 15 at home against UTEP. You've got a young team with a brand new coach. And I love this dude. He's got a lot of Bruce Pearl kind of feel to him. He was walking around campus, getting people fired up, buying kids lunch. You know what I mean? Like, I really like him. And the team is responding to it as well. It's a home game. And it's a game where they're so young that there's really no taking the foot off of the gas pedal. You just keep going and you just keep learning as you go together. So that's why I like Louisville here. They'll win, big spread, but they'll cover it.
For anybody that's not familiar with what's going on, this is not a football play. I hope everybody understands. This is college basketball, correct, AB?
Yep, absolutely, man. And Pat Kelsey, yeah. Thanks, Matty. That is the coach. Dude, this guy's awesome, man. Like, if you watch him, he is a fun. He's fired up. He's a dude that brings energy, but man, he is a lot of fun. He's got a young Bruce Pearl vibe to him.
I like that. All right, we're going to stay with the NBA Cup here that we just hit on. And Seabass, you got 2 plays in it. What you got?
Yeah, DG, I don't like the NBA Cup, but I'm all over it tonight. We're going to take Golden State and Houston over 53.5 points in the second quarter. Both of these teams are averaging 27 plus in the second. Houston's given up 30 in their last 3. So take them over 53.5 in the second quarter. And then a little parlay in the Knicks Hawks game. Jalen Johnson and DeAndre Hunter both to go over 15 points, 15 or more. Jalen Johnson's done this in all but 4 games. DeAndre Hunter's averaging 19. And the Knicks give up the 4th most points in the league to forwards.
I like that. And Jalen Johnson is listed as questionable right now with a shoulder issue. He missed the game on Sunday, but I think that was just to make sure they got him ready for the Cup game tonight. So I expect Jalen Johnson to be back. I like that play a lot, Seabass. All right, let's get into a little bit of future plays. And we have one for Thursday. So I'm going to start off with that one first. So, Tommy, I'm going to come to you. What you looking at here?
I love the Rams getting plus 2.5 minus 105. They played great against Buffalo. And boy, when that team is healthy, that offense can score. A little fun note here. The 49ers have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 9 games following a win. That's a big note. I think this game's going to be a shootout, 2.5 with the Rams. I love it.
Right. I like the Rams as well. I think they have the best receiver in the league, and Puka Nakua. And so I think that this will be a good game. All right, we're going to stick here with the gridiron. And Russo, I know you talked about your picks going 4-0. I don't know how it was last week. I don't remember, but I know we have some more football picks here. So what you got?
Yeah, last week's not worth talking about. So let's go on to this week. Speaking of a shootout, listen, man, the Bills aren't known for their defense. The Lions' defense is a little banged up. I think this game is going over 54.5 points. So I will take the over on the Bills and the Lions. And, man, I'm telling you, the Chiefs never cover. Every week I make the same bet because the Chiefs never cover. So I am taking the Browns and 4 points against the Chiefs.
I like that. I like the Browns because Jameis Winston's just got a little bit of craziness in him to kind of make that Browns team somehow stay good. But Vince, I'm going to go back to you on this Bills and Lions game real quick. I do look. I love the look of the over there. But if you had to take one of these 2 teams, just kind of in general, as the best team or the odds-on favorite to go to the Super Bowl, would you pick one of these 2, or would you pick somebody else? Because these 2 have been dynamite.
Yeah, right now I would go with the Lions. I would just, I mean, the Bills are having a great year, but man, it's, you guys know with sports, man, it a lot of times it comes down to that team of destiny. We hear that all the time. I think this might be the year of the Lions.
Wow, Tommy, is he correct with Detroit? This might be the year of the Lions.
Oh, definitely. I think they are the team of destiny. They have a great coach. Their defense is really banged up, but that offense rolls, and I'm with Vinny Rue here on this one. I think Lions are a team of destiny.
Seabass, 20 seconds. Is it the Lions against everybody at this point?
Detroit against everybody, right? That's the saying. That's what they say.
Right.
Detroit against everybody. But I mean, the Bills, I think the AFC has probably got the softer schedule to get through the playoffs. But Kansas City in the playoffs, man, you can't go against them. So yeah, give me the Lions.
It's definitely hard to go against KC. KC is always somehow there. They don't cover, but they somehow get the money line wins. That's really all that matters. But listen, this is an incredible start to the show so far. We're just kind of running up to our first break, but we're going to have an incredible time as we discuss Rant Wednesday. It's what everybody's here for. It's what everybody's expecting. This is obviously the segment of the week, not just the day. It's the segment of the week. So we have a great show that we're going to get into, and we're going to get to many more, whether it's talking Brett Favre, is it Max Fried, the new deal that he signed with the Yankees. We have all that and more. We'll be right back here at Driving the Line. All right, we are back here with all you OGs and degenerates, as Coach says. All right, we have a lot to talk about so far. I want to get into a little bit on Debo Samuel, and we'll get into this a little bit later on. But AB, I want to start off with you. He was kind of caught on, I guess, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And his tweet was, "I'm not struggling at all, just not getting the ball." Was that a shot at a teammate or a coach?
Look, I'm going to tell you this. He's already taken a shot at a teammate. Remember when he took a swing at the punter, right? They lost like 5 straight games after that because Kyle Shanahan and the staff, they blew it off, said it wasn't a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, now he's talking again. It's a big deal, man. You can't have these people out here just yapping constantly. I get it, okay? I do. But however, you know what? You got a quarterback right there that's going for a contract right now, and you're throwing him under the bus. You know what they say in the NFL? I worked in the NFL. I'll tell you, the number one thing that you don't do is talk about other people's money. All right? You don't do it. You don't affect it. You don't try to do it positively because it'll come off negatively. You don't do it negatively because that's just a jerk-off thing to do. You do not do it. All right? He's a problem, man. Look, Debo Samuel's a hell of a player, but he's been a problem all year long. As soon as they signed him, all right, it's been a problem. So,
Russo, your thoughts? You think this is a shot at teammates, coaches, or just venting?
Listen, I'm going to disagree with my boy, AB. And I'll tell you why, AB, because me and Tommy, we spent many years in the wrestling business, and we learned one thing in the wrestling business, AB: controversy creates cash, man. Go out there on social media, bury people. Controversy creates cash. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
that's true. It's true. It's true. You're right.
Seabass, are they right? Is this good for a little bit of the game? You got 15 seconds.
I don't think it's good for the 49ers. I mean, they're struggling right now. Purdy's been hurt. He made a bunch of noise in the offseason about a contract. Now he hasn't really produced since then. I think it's trouble. I don't think we see him back.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm going to get to you here in a second, but we're going to be back here on the stadium here in a few minutes. But we're going to keep on going with that as we lead into Rant Wednesday. So make sure you kind of stay tuned. But we'll be back here on the stadium in about 5 seconds. All right, we are back and live on Stadium, and we were kind of in the break talking a little bit about Debo Samuel and kind of how his tweet. And let me just kind of read it off a little bit. He was saying that he's not struggling at all. He's just not getting a ball. But somebody responded to him, and they said, "Just because I voiced my opinions doesn't mean that I'm on my teammates. Be for real." So he kind of got caught a little bit. And so before we get into Rant Wednesday, Debo Samuel going off on a rant. So, Tommy, I want to come to you real quick. Your thoughts on Debo. Is this about teammates or is it about coaching staff? Is he venting? Like, how does this make you feel?
It's all about Debo and being self-centered. And by the way, is this the year of all the receivers talking crap? Malik Neighbors talking crap. A.J. Brown, shut up. You're 11-2, dude, and you're complaining about Jalen Hurts? I don't get it. Debo Samuel, great player, but a self-centered player, and that's the end of the story there. And he's just creating controversy that they don't need in San Francisco right now.
Speaking of controversy, Vince Russo, you obviously know all about content is king, creating the controversies in the WWE, WCW. Is this good behind the scenes? Do you think those two are, or whoever he's talking with, do you feel like they're still good? Because this could break up a locker room.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a whole other story. This is not good behind the scenes. But again, man, when we look at professional sports today, man, everything's about branding. Everything's about branding, and sports figures are now celebrities. And what do you have to do to become a celebrity? You got to be noticed. And you have to say things that the average bear would not say. And that's why, listen, man, I like a little flair. I like a little pizzazz. I like a little controversy. But again, that's just the wrestling business in me.
How does this make you feel as a 49ers fan? Because obviously the season hasn't gone right, Seabass. And so does this make you feel uneasy going into the offseason? Because this season is pretty much cooked for them.
Just to be clear, I'm not a 49ers fan if you were saying that I was.
No,
but as
you.
a fan of San Francisco in general, Liddy let us know in the chat. Isn't he a 49ers fan? Anyway, it doesn't look good. If I'm a fan of the team, I get it. Wide receivers, that's what they do. They run their mouth so that they can get more attention, more balls, right? I don't think it's a good look. We talked about it. He had the contract issues coming into the season. I don't like it at all for him. I don't like it at all for him, for the team, for the fans, for nobody.
No, I don't like it for anybody. And AB, last thing on this, does it break the locker room? Is this something a coach needs to step in and kind of look at and kind of assert himself into, or is this something you think that kind of works itself out?
Well, look, he keeps doing it, right? Like last time he took a swing at a player on the field. Look, that locker room, I'm not in it, all right? But it seems like it's pretty strong. Seems like Shanahan's pretty strong head coach in terms of that. So I'm not going to say anything and speak out of turn. But what I will say is that you should have addressed it the first time that it happened. You know what I mean? And now it just builds. It might not be a huge bubble, but have you ever had a ceiling in your house that got water in it? It starts looking like a marble. Then it keeps going. Then it keeps going. Then you've got what looks like just a huge bubble hanging above, and you're just waiting to pop it, man. And usually it's not you that pops it. So you just got to address it when it first happens, man.
Any homeowner gets that analogy because you've seen it at some point, and it's just the worst thing in the world. So that was spot on from you, AB. All right, but everybody's here and they want to hear about what we need to get off of our chest. I'm going to let my OG go. And so, AB, what do you have to rant today on this Wednesday?
Okay, look, McDonald's employees, okay? All right, we're going to keep this pop culture here, or I guess not pop culture. I guess it'd be true crime. All right, I can't get correct orders put in a bag, all right? But you're finding assassins, all right, in the back of a store, all right, like that. No problem. All right, my fries, not cooked at all. You left out 2 McChickens, all right, and I don't have any napkins, and you didn't give me a straw. But you found an assassin, all right, in the back of the store with a mask on. I don't know what in the world is going on, but kudos, I guess, on finding the assassin. But can we work on the drive-through? If we can get that one down, all right, things are going to be good.
We can't get any help from the people in the back, but they have eagle eyes to try to figure out who's the person that potentially could have killed someone. It's crazy. But the other thing is the story about it. They might, for whatever reason, there was a bounty on this person, whatever, but they didn't. I don't think this person is going to get the money in the end.
No, because they called 911 instead of the tip line.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you didn't follow the right protocols because they work at McDonald's and they probably don't know them. They don't get the money for actually
I told you they don't follow the protocols, but somehow they're finding assassins back here.
That's crazy. All right. That was perfect, AB. All right. I'm going to keep going around as we would the clock here. So I'm going to go to the top right here with Tommy. What's your rant today?
My rant is going out to the owner of the New York Giants, John Mara. When you have a game last Sunday and somebody rents a plane and says, Mr. Mara, fix this dumpster fire. They need to fix that dumpster fire. Do you know what the spread is on the game this week? 14.5 points against the Ravens. And you know what? That will be covered. The Ravens are going to bury the Giants. Mr. Mara, this team is a train wreck. We need to blow everything up and start all over again. Get rid of Dable. Get rid of Shane. You bring in your assistant GM, Brown. Let him be the new GM. Bring in a coach like Vrabel, Flores, somebody. You get rid of Malik Neighbors, and you get a bunch of draft picks, and you build that offensive line finally. Go after Justin Fields or Winston for a year and wait for Arch Manning to come out in Texas, and that's going to solve all your problems because we all know they want Arch Manning in the end. But this team is a friggin' disaster. I don't even wear my Giant paraphernalia anymore. I don't wear the hat. I don't wear the sweatshirt. I'm done.
The Giants, just New York, it's been an issue as of lately. Maybe not Mets fans now, but the Giants fans, my God, it's been bad. AB.
I just want to say, if you guys go after Mike Vrabel, I'm telling you, you will absolutely love everything about him. You're going to have to give him a little bit of power in the GM position. All right. He doesn't want to be the general manager, but
I would love it.
Yeah,
I would love it,
GM, yeah, exactly. The GM that he had here in Nashville traded A.J. Brown for Treylon Burks and Malik Willis. All right, that's why he was like, can I make some decisions around here? But you will love Mike Vrabel. The dude is awesome, man. He's awesome.
It's a disaster. It is a disaster.
It is a disaster there in New York with the Giants. As Japan says, long story short, the Giants suck. Like that's pretty much as it sums it up. All right. That's pretty good. 2 for 2. I like it so far. All right, we're gonna go down to Seabass. What you got to rant about today?
Well, I'm hoping that I don't find myself out in the backyard like Tommy did a few weeks ago, but I'm going down that same dangerous
Oh
path.
no.
Started breaking out the Christmas decorations. Look, my wife and I, we actually spend more time, we actually sleep on our couch more than we sleep in the bed. But now we've got these pillows on the couch. All of my regular pillows are gone, and I've got these other pillows. Well, I can't sleep without a pillow, and she's telling me it's a decorative pillow. I can't sleep on it. How am I supposed to sleep if I can't sleep on the couch and I can't touch the decorative pillow? What is it there for? I don't need something to just be I don't live in a museum. This is a usable, working, well-rounded, comfortable couch that I sleep on 5 nights out of the week, not because I'm in trouble, but because we like it. So can I please get my sleeping pillows back on the couch?
All right, I have a lot of questions at this point, and I know everybody else does. All right, so what is wrong with the bed? Is that not an option?
The bed is an option, but like she stays up late and is watching TV, and I get home from work. She doesn't like if I go upstairs without her, so I end up falling asleep on the couch. And then by 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to move. I'm still asleep, so pull up a blanket and you're sleeping next to me on the couch.
Wow.
But the other side, so we like the house has just been a disaster with Christmas and everything, and the house cleaner came and cleaned and made the bed. She's like, I haven't seen my bed made in 2 months. I don't want to mess it up. So that's why the last 2 nights we've slept on the couch. She doesn't want to mess up the bed. Swear to God, shouldn't want to mess up the bed. But I can't mess up. I can't mess up the decorative Christmas pillow.
You're treading water there, buddy. You're treading water there.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll make her dinner. She'll be fine.
As Joe Neuenfeld is asking me, am I a shrink? Yes. Right now, we're working through some things right now with Seabass. But all right, let's get to our last one. I'm not going to have one today because one, last second, I didn't plan for it. But two, I'm not as good as these four for sure. So Russo, I held you for last on purpose. You're always one of the best, if not the best. So what you got to rant today?
Yeah, listen, DG, there are two things about me. I am old school and I am frugal. I am those two things. So being old school and frugal, I used to love the old coupon. Remember the old coupon? Remember you used to get the flyers in the mail and you would clip the coupons before you went food shopping. Do we all remember that?
Yes.
Well, now you go food shopping, there's digital coupons. So I got to take my phone. I got to go up to this thing. I don't know if it's a checkerboard. I don't know if it's a chessboard. I don't know what this thing is. I got to take a picture of this thing. So I take a picture of this thing, and then the picture goes into my photos. Where's the coupon? Well, how do I get my 15 cents off my peanut butter? I take the picture of this gimmick, and then I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this digital coupon thing. And then when you go up there and say, hey, listen, I don't know how this works. Can I get the money off anyway? They don't give you the money off. They need the digital coupon. I have not been able to figure out the digital coupon for the last 2 years. Can somebody please tell me what I'm doing wrong?
Don't look at me. I have no idea.
I'll tell you, I'm the problem for this. You remember when they had those little red things where the coupon would come out right in the aisle?
Yes.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I would just stand there and just pull them and pull them. Yeah. And then my dad would come over and see what I did, and then it would be Belt City. But yeah.
Wow. That is incredible. That's all of us, Russo, because we have no idea. Where do the coupons go? Where do you store these things?
Brutal.
How do you know if you're actually getting anything off? There's a lot that has to be there, but it's crazy. So we need these young people to come in and help us and hold our hands as we're going to the grocery store.
Where's
now.
Peyton?
Sure. Yeah, where's Peyton? Little Lettuce needs to help us. Russo, we're going to drop you off after this one, but obviously always great to have you on the show as we do every Rant Wednesday. But we're going to be back here with Driving the Line here in just a couple minutes. All right, we are back live on YouTube for all of the OGs here. What a great rant Wednesday. I don't know, and I don't know if anybody else. I want to follow up on this because I have a lot of questions for Seabass, but I want to know about the digital coupons. And so we get our groceries ordered. I mean, we order them, and I just go pick them up at this point because it's easier and it's cheaper. And my wife doesn't like to go because she spends too much when she goes, so it's actually helpful. Does anybody else do the grocery where you order it and go pick it up? Anyone? Okay. Does anybody?
I love the grocery store.
So you go into the grocery store now, Seabass?
Probably 5 days a week. I'm in the grocery store because I don't like to buy a whole bunch at one time. I like to buy just what I need. My wife, on the other hand, Instacarts everything. Costco, the grocery store, everything. Instacart. I come home, bags on the front steps, waiting to be brought in the house. She won't bring it in the house. She has the driver to bring it. Can you bring it in the house? They're like, I'm supposed to drop it. But yeah, Instacart.
Yeah, Subi says grocery pickup is awesome. Grocery pickup is different. Like you order it, you go pick it up, you get it. Instacart, with people that might not know, is where you order it and they deliver it to your doorstep for you. So it's very much like DoorDash or Uber Eats. Yeah. But I have so many questions, Seabass, and we have to get into this. Like, how do we not just figure out a way to untuck yourself, untuck this stuff, and just slide into the nice pre-made bed? There's no better feeling, Seabass. There's nothing.
I mean, yeah, once the sheets are done and like that first sleep in the bed after it's been changed and cleaned is great. But I don't know. The couch is just so comfortable. I've never really been a couch sleeper, but
I'll give you an answer.
Yeah. Okay.
You want an answer to this?
Yeah.
Here's a pro tip for you. All right. So what you do is if you don't want to make your bed, okay, make sure that you got a comfortable comforter. Okay. Yeah. Then get you an oversized Sherpa blanket, right? Then get yourself a weighted blanket. You don't have to get under the covers. Put those two there. I'm telling you, it's more comfortable. You wake up and all you got to do is either throw those blankets in the closet or you can make it right there on the bed. It is way better.
But then we're right back to the decorative pillow. I got decorative pillows on the bed too. There's too many freaking pillows.
Seabass has got some issues. We'll be back on Stadium in 5 seconds.
14 pillows.
We are back. This is Driving the Line. If this is your first time seeing us, thank you. But we've had a great show up to this point. If you're just missing out on Rant Wednesday, if this is the first thing you're hearing from me, but join us each and every day. We're over on YouTube on simultaneously in the mornings at 10 a.m. And if not, we're 3 p.m. Eastern here live on Stadium. But we have a lot to get into today, so make sure you kind of stick with us. But as we always do, we try to educate and entertain you. All right, AB. There's a big thing that we saw on socials all day yesterday, and it was Brett Favre and Mark Gastineau, and they had a confrontation, I guess we'll call it. Do you think, one, that was real?
No. I think Brett Favre needs distractions right now. I think that's exactly what he needs because he's got some off the field legal issues going on. No, I don't think that was real at all.
Seabass, do you think it was real or fake? Because I'm kind of up in the air at this point.
I thought it was real until about 5 seconds ago because I didn't think about it like that. I'm watching this thing and I watched it the first time and I went to watch it again and I just like watching Gastineau and him speak and the emotion, like it didn't sit right with me. It was weird feeling watching it. But now that AB says that, and then when Brett Favre had his little press conference or whatever he had a few weeks ago where he was talking about nothing, that kind of makes sense to me now. So I don't know now. I don't know. You've thrown a whole wrench in my day, AB.
We're gonna let the crew and Tommy figure this out. The crew, if you'll put in the chat right now, I just want to know real or fake because at this point I am torn as well, very much like Seabass. So if you think it was real, just put in real. If you think it was fake, put in fake. But Tommy, your thoughts on just real or fake? I don't even want to get into the content just yet. Was it real or fake to you?
As we say in the wrestling business, that was a shoot. That was real because Gastineau's a jerk. He's a self-centered jerk. There's a special coming on ESPN about the sack exchange, and every one of his players that played with him thought he was a jerk, self-centered. Yeah, Gastineau was dead serious about the sack on Strahan and Brett Favre, and it caught him way off. So that in the wrestling business, we call that a shoot, means that's a real thing, and I think it was real.
Wow. All right. So I'm closer to the real side than I am the fake side. And other people in the chat as well. As Brian Tonsoni says, it was dumb. And that's probably the real answer. But going back to that play, I don't know if you saw the clip of it. There's a lot of clips that kind of went on the back of seeing the clip of them coming together. But seeing the actual game film, AB, do you think that Brett Favre took a dive on that sack by Michael Strahan?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Now, I don't want that to be anything taken away from Michael Strahan, okay? Like,
Right.
understand that, right? Like, it's not. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, like, he definitely did. But then again, it's also he was getting rushed. Like, it's not that big of an issue. Like, he was going down as most quarterbacks would in that situation. He just helped alleviate it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't take, like, anything negative on the other side there. It was a convenient play. Let me say that.
100%. And Seabass, do you see it? Do you think there's any? You can't take anything away from Strahan at this point, but when you're coming out kind of a naked boot, and then you see just a mammoth of a human right there, that's probably the real most realistic thing that Brett Favre could have done is just kind of duck and roll.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm not trying to run into Michael Strahan or even run away from him. He's probably faster than Brett Favre at that point in his career anyway. Yeah, I'm going right down, right in. Just touch me softly, please. Softly.
Touch me softly. This is a whole breakthrough episode for Seabass. This is a little something different. But we have a lot of noise happening in Yankee land for Mr. Tommy and his team. So we had Max Fried get signed yesterday to an 8-year, $218 million. Obviously coming from the Braves, who me and AB both love. We know a lot about Max Fried, very good pitcher. A little bit of an overpay, I would say. But your thoughts and the Yankees fans' thoughts overall, Tommy?
Well, the big deal, of course, we lost Juan Soto, and we all know Soto went for the money. The bottom line is he went for the money. He doesn't care about anything else, but him and Boris all care about the money. You talk about this contract, right? 8 years, 218, I think it was. But the yearly is 27.7, which is not bad right now. Everybody's getting 50, 40. So it leaves the Yankees up for more room because they need a first baseman. We don't know what we're doing at third. Are we going to get an outfielder? I have no idea what's going on with that. But what stops good hitting, fellas? Great pitching. Ask me about that. Ask me about Aaron Judge in the playoffs, how he got nothing and didn't hit a lick in the playoffs until really late in the World Series. So great pitching always stops great hitting, and now the Yankees have a great pitching staff.
They absolutely do. There's been a lot of talk that whether or not they're going to move away from a Fried, or from Louis Gael or Giles, whatever his name is, there for the Yankees. And so I'm curious what we do there. But I'm going to kind of stick on here, producer man, if that's okay with you. I don't know if we're supposed to move on or not because I literally don't know. So he's telling me we're not supposed to stay here. So
I can jump in with this. All right, let me tell you this. All right, Yankees fans, if Max Fried stays healthy, this is a much better deal than re-signing. All right, Soto. And that's nothing against Soto. Hell of a player. All praise to him, and I hope he works out for the Mets. But I agree, all right, with Tommy. And if Max Fried can just stay healthy, this dude is a beast, man. He is an absolute monster,
Yep.
And it is tough to find starting pitchers that can go really long in games as well. All right, Max Fried is a monster. Just keep him healthy. You find a way to do that, dude, you made the right decision. 100% made the right decision. I like Max Fried a lot.
Max Fried is good. Sorry, that was a little flub on my end. But Seabass, I'm going to go to you because Matt in the chat had this. I think it's very smart, but because I think Max Fried isn't overpaid, but he says today's overpayment is tomorrow's bargain. Is that correct?
For sure. I think it's absolutely correct. You're going to get, as long as he produces, you're going to get great value out of him, and it's going to work out just fine. Then you look at the price difference between what they would have had to pay Soto, what Fried got. But here's what I don't understand with Yankee fans. Everybody's all upset about Soto taking the money, but for years, the Yankees have just been able to outspend and bring everybody in for the money. So I don't understand why they're all upset about it. Soto's a great player. I get it. You want to keep him on your team, but don't be mad that he took the money.
Right. And I like Max Fried, but he's taking money that with those salary cap, is it going to hurt you as a team? If it's not going to hurt you as your spending power, then you shouldn't have to hold that against them on that one. But let's go to a little bit of college football. We have the Army Navy game, and AB, I'm going to start with you on this one. Obviously, the college football playoffs are happening right now, and there's been so much talks about that. I guess the nostalgia of the Army Navy game, it kind of holds a special place in a lot of us as we saw that growing up. Do you think it's lost a little bit of its luster, AB, here with the college football playoffs just kind of being right there in the forefront?
No, I don't. I think that it loses like the media discussion about it. But every year there's really not a ton about this game anyway. I love that they play it after seemingly the regular season for everybody. Like, it deserves its own day.
Okay.
And it's one of those things to where you don't really talk about it too much, but you know that it's there. And when you turn it on, you just go to another, mental state, and you're like, I'm going to watch this game. And both teams are good, right? Like, it's going to be a great football game, but then you see everything that goes behind it. And, for me, man, like, seeing and understanding the history, not only of these two schools, right, of playing football, but the Army and the Navy, right, of just the people that have served and the people that have been a part of it since literally the beginning of this country. It's just awesome, man. Like, it's just awesome. And it's going to be a great game too.
Seabass, I want to come to you on this one because it's in Northwest Stadium there in Landover, Maryland, very close to the Northeast up there. Is this talked a lot more in the Northeast where you and Tommy are than it is maybe in the South where I am?
It used to be, again, with the two teams that have kind of lost some of their luster over the years, it's kind of lost some of that. I actually used to work at a restaurant in Annapolis that was right across the river from the Naval Academy, so I could actually see it. I would actually drive by the stadium at the Naval Academy, not where they're playing this weekend, but the Naval Academy, and see it. And it's big there. They really get into it. But I think this year, with both teams being super competitive, Army having a shot at almost making the playoff, it's kind of got some buzz, and people are excited about it for sure.
Both these teams are really good, and I know Army is favored by 6.5 in most books here. But Tommy, I think this is going to be a better game, just football game overall, than it has been in the past. Because in the past, you're kind of just rooting for points because it was always triple options or running the ball, and now these teams are actually like legit good football teams. So your thoughts on the game just overall?
Yeah, I mean, through the years, both of these teams have not been great at all, but Army and Navy, man, they have brought it this year, and I think it's going to be a great game. I love watching the game. I look forward to it. I love watching the fans in there, all the Army guys, all the Navy guys, man, and it's just I'm so proud to be an American when I watch this game and you see these guys that fight for our country and they're fighting it out on the football field. It's such a great traditional game, and I just can't wait for it because you know why? The teams are good this year, and we're going to see a really good game.
Yeah, it should be a really good game. AB.
Yeah, not to interrupt you, but all right. So it was a great question that was brought up in the chat here. All right, we always go to the under in this game, but these two teams are really good, and the total is 38.5. Like, as a show, are we going over or are we staying under? Like, what do we do here?
That's a great question.
I was actually looking at that today, and I was looking when I think I saw 37.5 at a couple of books as well, and I was like, it's got to go over, right? Because that's what you think about. All you think about is run. But they're putting up points. I got another question though: is how come this particular game gets so much love, but like Army Air Force, nothing, right? Air Force never in the conversation. But it should be.
We got to get a Marines team. All right. You get the Marines against the Air Force. Yeah, that's what we need. I ain't playing the Marines, dog. All right. They will tackle hard.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that would not be a game I would want to be on the other side of. But that offensive line and defensive line for Army is no joke. They're honestly one of the best in the league. I think they dominate that Navy team. And I think that when we end up looking back at it, I think Army rolls in this game. I think the over goes over just because it's based on the Army team. And so I'm going to roll with the Army. I'm probably going to go their team total. And so I haven't looked at any of that, but I'm going to roll with my guy, Robert Bibbo, on that game. But we'll be back here on Stadium here in just a couple minutes. All right, you degenerates. We're here on the home stretch. We'll be right back on Stadium here in a couple minutes. But before then, let's talk a little bit of the college football playoffs. And AB, we'll kind of start with you. Producer man, if you don't mind, throw me up that graphic if you still have it around there. But just looking at these games just in general, other than the Tennessee game, because I know that you love Tennessee and that's going to be your bias pick. But is there a game that's going to make you tune in for any of these other than that Tennessee game?
Oh, yeah. All right. So, I mean, 100%, like, I'm all in on all of them, obviously,
Right.
but I get your question, right?
Yep.
So, here's what I like about these. All right. Clemson, Klubnik, going back, all right, played in Austin. A lot of his high school teammates play for Texas. Okay. So, you've got a lot of that going on there. SMU, Penn State, SMU kind of just got waxed. All right. Yeah, it was close at the end, but they were getting worked. Do they show up against Penn State? Penn State, James Franklin. All right, we all know his record against top, 10 teams, 25. I don't know what the number is, right? But this is a big one. And then finally, Indiana, Notre Dame, in-state. I mean, this is everything that you could want. Big brother versus quote-unquote little brother. Like, this is going to be awesome. And Indiana could go do it in the South Bend. Notre Dame, like, I am all for, like, there are like matchups and things going on all through this one. And let me tell you this, lastly, at Tennessee, Ohio State tailgate, there ain't going to be a better one throughout the entire college football playoff. These two fan bases know how to drink and party. That's going to be an awesome tailgate before.
We're definitely going to continue with this, but I'm gonna keep with you, AB, here because we only have about 40 more seconds. But AB, are you going to go to the game there in Ohio State? But is there any way that you somehow can find your way there?
All right, so I'm not going to this one, but it's already been worked out, me and my dad. If Tennessee wins, all right, the Rose Bowl, never been there, against Oregon. We're going to that one. So Tennessee's got to win against Ohio State. Big ask. Ohio State's a good football team, but we'll be at the Rose Bowl if they do.
That's incredible. All right, we'll be back here on Stadium here in just 5 seconds. All right, we are back here on Stadium. This is Driving the Line. If this is your first time or if you are a long time, thank you for kind of hanging out with us. We've had so much good content today. Just an incredible show out of our guys. But we're going to get into the college football playoffs. And in the break, we were talking a little bit with AB through these games. But Tommy, I'm going to go to you next here. Is there a game that's here that this is appointment viewing? No matter what you're doing, you're finding out what time this game is of the first round games, and you're going to make sure you have it on because this is the game for you.
In the Northeast here, I mean, I like Penn State, SMU, but I'm with AB, man. Indiana, Notre Dame, man. These two guys playing each other. I think it's going to be an incredible game. Notre Dame, the big brother, the little brother of Indiana. I think everybody's going to be watching that game, and I guess everybody thinks Notre Dame's going to win that game, but I think it's going to be a really good game. I really do. And Penn State, that's my sneaky team that I think can go all the way. They had a tough loss, man, and I think it's just going to be good. But man, Indiana, Notre Dame really interests me.
Seabass, is there a game that's that you're looking at that you is must watch?
I'm looking at, again, Indiana, Notre Dame, SMU, Penn State, but not for the reasons you guys have talked about. I'm looking for SMU and Indiana to both just get obliterated. So then I can go back on my rant about how Alabama should have made it to the playoffs and got screwed out of it because they wanted to give it to a team that didn't play anybody. That's how I feel about it.
Wow. Always curmudgeon Chris and the SEC Chris. I don't you have so many names at this point, Seabass, that I just kind of I'm going to let you have those.
Well,
but
in all seriousness, though, I think that Notre Dame Indiana game is going to probably be the most fun game to watch next to Ohio State, Tennessee in this first round.
Here's a quick question. All right. And I know that, we're running out of time on the show, but like you see these totals here, right? 51.5, 47, 54, 50.5. Like which one screams over the most and which one screams under the most? Like DJ, I throw it back to you. Like which one on each side do you see?
Yeah, I'm going to actually go with the first game on the over the 51.5. I think Texas and Clemson can both score. I like that in the first quarter score. I think it's going to go over early, and I think they're going to roll the rest of the way. So great question, AB. I'm going to finish with you on that one. But Tom, is there a game that over or under or either one of these games?
I love Tennessee, Ohio State, man. I think that can go over 47. I think these two teams could score big time, and it's going to go over 47. I like Tennessee, Ohio State.
That's a good look. Seabass.
Clemson and Texas. Texas could put up 51 themselves in this game. Clemson, their season was a little rough for them. They got in because of Miami loss and then went and won the ACC championship there. But Texas can put up 50 itself. I like that one going over for sure.
All right, AB, this is your question, so you better have something good here.
Indiana, Notre Dame, over. Indiana ain't scared of nobody, and they're going to come out firing because why the hell wouldn't you? You ain't waiting on nothing here. And Notre Dame have been a wagon in terms of scoring points since that loss to Northern Illinois. They've been covering overs by themselves. All right. I think that game, that's the one for me, man. I'll take the over 50.5. That's going to be a fun one. And that's the one that's played on Friday night, correct? Yeah, that's the one on Friday night. Then the other three are played on Saturday throughout the day. Dude, I cannot wait for Indiana Notre Dame. That's going to be a fun game.
It's great that we're getting so many of these games, and this is what you wanted as a football fan. You wanted more games, more important games, other than these bowl games that kind of get lost in the sauce most of the time. So incredible breakdown by everyone here on the college football. But if you're just joining us, because I know everybody works, everybody gets weird break times, everybody gets has a life going on, right? You might not have got the show early and you missed the picks, but that's why we have the whip around. All right, 15 seconds or less. AB, if you'll lead us off.
Yes, sir. College basketball tonight. We're going to go Illinois, Louisville, minus 15 at home against UTEP here. Take them on the spread.
All right, Seabass, you're going to the NBA Cup.
Tonight, we're going to take Rockets and Warriors second quarter total over 53.5. Both of these teams give up a lot and score a lot, especially in the second quarter. And then a parlay in that Knicks-Hawks game will take Jalen Johnson and DeAndre Hunter, both to score 15 points or more.
All right, Tommy, you're going to Thursday Night Football. What you got?
I love the Rams getting 2.5. The offense is healthy, and the Rams have won their last 3 road games. They're getting 2.5. I love that pick.
All right, we're gonna Vince Russo actually dropped off the show midway, but we have the Bills and the Lions going over the 54.5 at minus 110. That's obviously going to be the game of the week that everybody's tuning in for. And then we have the Browns at +4 going minus 108. The Browns are taking on the Kansas City Coaches, the Kansas City Chiefs there. And so that should be a good game. And the reason was he just didn't think the Chiefs ever cover. They're winning by a doink field goal, for God's sake. It's sickening. It's sickening more if I didn't have so many gems to my name and we weren't making Coach feel bad. But obviously, I don't feel as bad when we're getting all these gems and Coach just feels terrible about himself. But it's great. Me and Tommy we're on just cloud 9 right now. This is amazing.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I love sticking it to Coach. Yeah, he's my boy, but I love it.
For sure. All right. So we those are your picks, but we always want to make sure that we have the Howie Schwab play of the day. So AB, before we get there, actually, you know what? Let's go there first. Let's go to the Howie Schwab play of the day. What's the crew pick? Are you on mute? There you go.
Yeah, sorry. Look, I was trying to pull it up right while you were saying that here. Look, the crew has gone with, hold on, I got to pull the screen up. Damn it, it is not working at all. I can't pull it up. I cannot get, okay. The Knicks minus 7.5. Sorry about that. I was trying to pull 8 screens here. The show was playing twice. Yeah, the crew is going with the Knicks minus 7.5.
All right, sorry about that. I think there's a little out of order.
That was my fault, not you.
It is what it is. Well, you know what? It's an F day, as Howie would
look.
say.
It's known that I am an idiot. All right, banana pudding brain. Like this is not new at all. But at the end of the day, we got the right decision.
All right, so we always end the show on Raphael's stat of the day, but we don't have one as producer man's wagging his finger to me. We don't have that. So I
It's
apologize.
been a hell
So
of a week, hasn't it?
it's been a great week. So
So-
what are we
and
going to do for the next 2.5 minutes? I don't know. We'll just kind of hang out.
All right, well,
but-
I'll tell you this. No, I'll tell you this. All right, real quick, 10 seconds each. All right, covering the spread, college football playoff. Like, which one? Who you going with? DG, you started.
Yeah, let's go back to it. If you'll throw that up there on the screen there, producer man. I know I love the Army play overall because that's this weekend. But if we're going to the college football, I really do. If I had to look at this, I think that 7.5 screams just kind of in Indiana's favor. I know Notre Dame can run off just because I think they are the better team. They have the better prospects. But overall, I think Indiana somehow keeps this close. So if you give me the hook in my favor, I'm going to keep that. And so I liked Indiana at the plus 7.5. Let's go to you, Tommy, here. Is there any play that you like on the spread?
I agree. I think Indiana getting 7.5. I'm in on that. I'm in with you, AB, and Notre Dame. Man, I think it's going to be a great game on Friday night. I'm taking the 7.5.
Kirk Signetti, man, he's always coming through for us. Seabass, any game you like?
A little bit of a big number there, but I think the rest of the country has been so hung up on Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana that they've forgotten about how tough that Penn State offense is. Their defense is even better. I don't know if SMU can keep up. I like Penn State.
All right, AB, 30 seconds. Anything you like?
Yeah, look, I'll tell you this, man. All right. I'm going to take Texas with the points. I think we're going to see Arch Manning, and I think that we're going to see Sarkisian get this team's attention. Yeah, give me Texas.
I think Texas has a really good chance to show out, but Clemson, they score early in these games. That's something to keep your eye on. But an incredible show, guys. As always, is one of the highlights, right? Is getting to host it, but just getting to be. I don't get to be on the Wednesday show with you guys ever, and so it's always good to do that. So, but that's all we got. As you get throughout the week, make sure you tune in to Friday's weekend wagers, but also the podcast. But for Tommy, for AB, for Seabass, and producer man, I am DG. Make sure you tune in this afternoon for me and Seabass on the podcast. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you all at the pay window.